So now we're going to get down to business here. The first item is public comment. As always, we ask that you keep your comments brief and that you restrict them to items that are not on the agenda. If you'd like to comment on an item on the agenda, you'll have an opportunity when we get to that. You need to come to the podium, give your name and address for the record, and we'll start here.
Good evening. My name is Carolyn Fogel, 12 Dogwood Drive, Lower Makefield Township. First of all, I have to say, I've been Hannah Venables' Girl Scout leader since she was in kindergarten at the Daisy. So, twofold great things to be here tonight, to see her receive that award. I can't wait to see what she does with the boat. But what I'm really here is on behalf of the Makefield Women's Association. We want to express our deep appreciation and gratitude for all the encouragement, support, and assistance the whole Board of Supervisors has given us throughout the whole year. And also, we would like to thank the Park and Rec Department and the Public Works and the Lower Makefield Township Police for the assistance with our event at Shady Brook Farm a couple of weeks ago, Harvest Day at Shady Brook Farm. Sure. Harvest Day at Shady Brook Farm was a tremendous success. This success would not have been made possible without the support of the township supervisors, all the departments here at the township, and especially the police officers and the entire community. We say thank you for not only supporting MWA, but in turn supporting all of our worthy beneficiaries. Thank you.
Well, let me thank you and congratulate your organization on pulling off a great event. As you know, we talked and we weren't all happy about the circumstances, but in your case, you made the best of it. We're proud to have you as part of the township. It was a great event.
Thank you.
We'll do better on the traffic next year, too.
Who knew we would beat out George Bush's attendance?
Yeah.
Who knew, right?
Yeah, who knew?
Yeah, it was a good problem to have, but we thank the police officers, especially. They really, rose to the occasion that day and made a very tenuous situation much better quickly.
Yeah, it's a great event. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Good evening. Green shirt, 612B, Rensong Road. First of all, I have to make two apologies. One to the supervisors for running out of here the previous meeting, and the second to the presenters, the public comment presenters, for barging in and asking to go first. When I got over to the meeting, they were unenthusiastic with my proposal, to say the very least. But then on Monday, September 30th, I happened to be flicking the channels, and a representative from Cumberland County, Glenn Risk or something like that, has a proposal that he's going to introduce in October to try to bridge the gap on a $45 billion unfunded pension liability, mainly for school teachers and government employees. There's 700,000 in the Commonwealth. That's a lot of votes. So I need everybody to get behind. And remember, you're not doing it for me. I have I have a grandson in the tech school. You're doing it for him and the other kids. You're not doing it for me. And thank you for listening, and I hope you all get behind it, because it's lights out. And envision borrowing $7 billion to close the gap, and there's no other way of doing it. So get behind it. Thank you.
Good evening. John Lewis, 1550 Surrey Court. Wanted to follow up on comments from last month. Last month I brought to the board's attention that the township had not completed the FEMA paperwork required to get folks up to $800 a year in savings in their flood insurance, and wanted to see where we're at on the status on that.
Our manager's not here tonight, but I'm going to ask Mark if you could comment on that.
Sure. A number of things have been done in that regard for the community rating system, or the CRS as it's known. We had forwarded the township's floodplain ordinance to FEMA mid-September. There was also a letter of intent sent to them that the township would be interested in joining this program. In addition to that, we had prepared what they call a quick check spreadsheet. It requires a lot of questions and answers of what the township has done, so on and so forth. That was also prepared and submitted to FEMA. The next thing to happen is that FEMA will contact us with a time to meet, to have a meeting to go over a lot of these issues. They had indicated probably sometime in November, although with some of the things recently, they did indicate that the Colorado flood was taking a lot of their time. And now with the government shutdown, there's also some other details. But anyway, everything's been sent into them, and we're waiting for them to contact us to meet, to go over this and determine the next steps for this.
So that's very good news. And so right now the ball's entirely in FEMA's court.
It is. We've submitted everything that we can at this point to let them know that we're interested in this program, and we're waiting for them to get back to us to come out and sit down with us and go through the program details.
That's very good news, because that was 2 years ago the board had approved that.
Well, John, I'd actually, we're on kind of opposite sides of a fence right now, you and I.
Both folks in the township, Pete.
But I would like to thank you for bringing it to our attention. It did, I think, fall between the cracks in the transition from one engineering firm to another. But we're behind this, and Mark's, got it under control.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Just another kind of quick technical question, and wanted to validate some of this. And I'd understand there's been some improvements in total road spend this year. How much are we spending in total in roads?
We're spending approximately $700,000 on roads.
That's what, 2 years in a row now?
2 years in a row. Now, I'm not going to get the exact year right, but we were recently spending as little as $350,000. So we've significantly upped that budget. I think we're on track with where we should be. That's where we are.
Yeah, no, and before I depart, I was going to say again, the Makefield Women's Association, wonderful job with parks. I think all of us agree that was a tremendous event. But it struck me, I'm like, they had mentioned they had better turnout than President Bush, right? And I'm assuming better turnout than Mitt Romney. And I'm still curious, did they ever pay the amounts that they owed the township?
No.
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 Do we do collections here? I'm more than willing to go visit. I do collections.
we
if you
did
don't
bill.
pay,
We did bill them. Did we bill the GOP?
We
or
did.
the
We billed the
campaign?
Republican National Committee
Yeah.
Right.
on both events.
Okay.
We have not heard anything from them.
Okay. Have we sought to go to court?
But I have to say, though, that would fall the same in any campaign and any candidate or any elected official that came here.
Yeah.
That I don't think you'd see any money out of anybody.
Right.
honestly.
And trust me when I say, Chief, that to me, I love our president, but he comes here, he pays too.
We'll see.
We'll see.
It's
Yeah.
kind of the way these campaigns run, and I wish we could collect the money, but we haven't seen a dime.
To me, it's you have to be forceful with collections in a business. Sometimes people don't. Large companies don't pay on time. You have to be a little more aggressive, politely. I'm sure that the Republican committee is used to not paying their bills, so it's very important to kind of push them. And
No different.
Touche.
but thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Good evening. Mark Moffa, 1531 Derbyshire Road. I just wanted to let everyone in the community know that on Tuesday, here in the Township Building, the Makefield seniors are having a Kennedy's Forum. And I believe, to my knowledge, Pete and Kristen.
I'm actually not going to be there. I'm going to be out of town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you get a pass.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess Kristen might be there.
Kristen will be there.
John and I will be there. And well, then this is really unfortunate because I thought this was going to be the only opportunity for the four of us to be in the same room discussing the issues facing the township, but I guess it won't be. John and I had asked for a debate sponsored by the League of Women Voters. Actually, they don't call it a debate, they call it a forum. But Pete and Kristen, you both declined, and I think that's really unfortunate and quite a disservice to the community. I was wondering if you could explain why.
I'm going to, give an answer, but I want to say here, we have one more meeting to go, and these meetings are for township business, not for campaigning or not for taking shots.
We
at
want to
each other.
discuss township business.
This isn't township business,
It
but,
is
but
not
I'm going to give
township
you.
building.
I'm going to answer the question. Over the years, there have been lots of elections. Steve Sanacero and I both ran for state rep at the same time, and we were both supervisors at the same time. We've typically tried to keep politics out of these meetings. Now, I'm going to answer your question. I've been in a lot of these debates, going back to 2001. While I think the world of the League of Women Voters and what they try to do, I haven't seen one of these debates yet that actually changes anybody's mind. Typically, the room is packed with your supporters and my supporters, and we sort of play a game of gotcha. And I think there's a better way to get your message out, a better way for us to get our message out, going door to door, meeting the voters, whatever. And we just think that's a better use of our time. And that's what I've said to the newspapers. So thank you.
All right. Well, I mean, we've certainly been doing a lot of door-to-door as well, but I just think that's unfortunate. You don't think even if they're televised that makes a difference? Because I think that would. I can understand if it's not televised and we're just all sitting here in a room, like you said, rah-rah each side. I could see it playing out that way. But I think the cost is only $500 to televise it, and our campaign was going to pay half, and we wanted to see if you guys would pay half, and I just thought that would be a good community service.
I'm going to echo what Pete just said. This is a township meeting. This is not a time for us to discuss our...
Well, then there's no other time to discuss this because there's no other opportunity for me to bring this up.
And I did speak to the president of the Lower Makefield Township seniors today, and they had not yet received your RSVP, so if you would reach out to Ada or Margaret and let them know that...
They did. I got an email confirmation that they received most of our RSVPs.
Today?
Today.
No, when I sent it, like weeks ago when we got the invitation.
Okay, well, I'm going to call over there because, like I said, I talked to the president today, and she said they hadn't heard from you, but... I'm not saying that's anything.
Yeah, I emailed the day I got the letter, and I have a response from, it's Margaret, I think.
Margaret McLaughlin?
Yes, I have a response from her.
Okay, well, we'll see you then.
I guess I should check with her to make sure.
Yeah, I was just with them, and they said that no one had gotten back to her, and I found that to be a little bit odd, so just if you would follow up with her.
That is odd, yes.
Yeah, and like I say, I spoke to Ada today, so give them a buzz if you could.
I will.
Thank you.
Good evening. Sue Herman, Lower Makefield Township Citizens Traffic Commission. Jeff was going to speak to this at the end of the meeting, but I couldn't wait. The Citizens Traffic Commission, partnering with Pennsbury Lift of the United Way and the Pennsbury School District, held its 6th Safe Driving Program today. It was the End Distracted Driving Program that was produced by Joel Feldman after his 21-year-old daughter, Casey, was killed by a distracted driver in Ocean City, New Jersey. The program was a phenomenal success. We were proud to be part of it. 1,100 high school students saw it today. Joel gave 4 presentations. There were 330 students approximately in each class period that he presented to. His methods were fantastic. He talked to the students as a peer. He said he was there not to tell them how to change their driving, but to empower them to assess how they might want to change their driving after hearing his presentation. And he let them know that they had the power to change other drivers if they were the passenger in a car, if those drivers were driving in a distracted way, by speaking up, by suggesting that maybe they could take the driver's cell phone and text for them, or many other methods of empowerment that he showed the kids. We were thrilled you could hear a pin drop in the auditorium. Those were long presentations. A class period is 90 minutes long. The Lower Makefield Township Police and Falls Township Police addressed alcohol, driving under the influence of alcohol. That was great. The kids were totally respectful and enjoyed the program. By the end of the day, Officer Mike Pell of Lower Makefield came up and said he heard kids saying to one another in the hall that you're going to enjoy the program and saying you'll really be happy to be there. So that was great. The driver ed teachers and gym teachers were saying they loved the program. So it was a win for everybody. We look forward to bringing it to the other half of the student body in April, and thank you again for supporting us.
Congratulations, good work.
Thank you.
Proud to have you handle that. Okay, seeing no other public comment, we'll close that phase of the meeting. Next item is approval of the minutes of our September 18th meeting. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any additions, corrections, or discussion? Seeing none, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
And one abstention.